Shalom, shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, a great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. It's to our Payah from the Providence, Rhode Island camp, coming at you with a quick lesson. Really just going into some articles concerning the state that I live in, which is Rhode Island. But it's a very interesting time to be living in, especially with what's happening, which, in case you don't know what's happening, there's a government shutdown currently where a lot of government officials are not being paid, um, including the troops. And it's been an announcement that the SNAP benefits are not going to be implemented in the month of November. So this is from Providence Journal, and McGee, I believe he's the mayor or the governor, excuse me, of Providence. He says McGee to announce food aid plans as federal shutdown threatens SNAP. So he's coming out today, apparently, to pretty much announce some sort of plans for the fact to pretty much help people out that are not going to be able to receive SNAP benefits. SNAP pretty is like EBT. People are able to purchase like groceries and stuff like that. But it says Government Dan McGee on Tuesday, October 28th, will announce new actions to help Rhode Islanders when federal food aids end at the start of next month due to the government shutdown. It says, let me do this real quick so I don't get interrupted. It says around 140,000 Rhode Islanders receive help from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That's what SNAP stands for, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly known as food stamps. And with the shutdown now entering into its fourth week, the 28 million monthly disbursement the state receives is now in jeopardy. In news released Monday, McGee says President Trump continues to hold SNAP benefits hostage during the federal government shutdown. Exactly what McGee plans to do to compensate for the loss of federal funds will be revealed Tuesday. So everyone's in the on the edge of their seats, basically, to try to figure out what's the plan for this government SNAP benefit discontinuation. All right, because this is a thing that a lot of Israelites specifically rely on. And it's already a bunch of videos talking about people are gonna stop paying rent, and they're not gonna be able to go Christmas shopping for their kid. This is a time where a lot of people that depended on the government for assistance, they're gonna be in a really tough spot. It's gonna be riots. It's gonna be riots and unhappy campers. A lot of robbing is gonna take place. The scriptures speak about stuff like this. Okay, so matter of fact, so let me go to Second Esdras. Let me see here. This is Second Esdras chapter 16 and verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. See, that was a time period where victuals was referring to the goods and things like that. That was sold at a good price. People were able to just buy things with those SNAP benefits, able to afford to feed their kids using them SNAP benefits. However, it says that they should think themselves to be in good case. A lot of people thought themselves to be in good case relying on these SNAP benefits. And these SNAP benefits, paying for the food, was the reason why people were able to pay for gifts. And one thing a lot of individuals relied on to celebrate Thanksgiving, which is a day of feasting, or celebrate Christmas, any of these feast days, they use them SNAP benefits. But so the haughtiness, or the mirth in the city, that's a better word. The mirth, the joy, the excitement the party and other people in this earth is gonna get brought low because they're not gonna be able to afford shit. 'Cause they gotta pay their rent and they have to keep the lights on. You see, they have to keep the water on. A lot of people are being threatened by this thing. That's why the governor that's why the officials of these states have to come out and talk about the situation. Donald Trump ain't holding up. You see, what's going on is there's a weeding process. All you all you Israelites that like to just sit on your ass and rely on government assistance, you're gonna be put in a position where you're gonna be forced to get up and go do something, go make some money, go work. Um, but let me see here. It says that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. See, this is the thing. Like, if there's no aid being put out there for the people, they're gonna go crazy. They're gonna go hungry. Kids are gonna starve, and parents don't want to witness their kids starving. See, so that's gonna cause a lot of parents to go above and beyond to make sure there's food in the stomachs of their kid. So um, let me see if find the scriptures here. I'm trying to find the scripture, and then I'm gonna go read a little bit more of that article. Okay, there you go. All right, jumping back to this article, it says families, children, and seniors across our state are going to go hungry, folks said. While the crisis stems from decisions made in Congress and by the Trump administration, our state leaders must act now. A state of emergency declaration will mobilize the Rhode Island National Guard to assist with logistics and food distribution and coordinate our response across state agencies, food banks, community organizations, municipal, however you say that, and federal partners to ensure that not a single Rhode Islander goes hungry. So, what does that sound like? Martial law. It sounds like martial law. They're gonna be distributing the food, the goods, because people are gonna, hey, people gonna get greedy with it. People won't, because those food banks. There's actually a major food bank here in Rhode Island. I actually been inside of it before. They gonna get raided, man. They're gonna get obliterated with the amount of people that are trying to buy food. All right, and not even just buy it, but steal it. Let me grab this. Okay, it says Second Ezra 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. That's what you're gonna see. That's what you're gonna see. It's gonna get to a point where people are gonna fight against one another with guns, with any type of killing instrument, to make sure that they can eat. They're gonna go into survival mode. And let's just say, right? Let's just say they lift the government shutdown and they're able to bring these SNAP benefits back and whatever, right? Let's just say that's the case. There's still gonna be a point in time where people are gonna starve and rob each other, fight each other just to eat, simply because there's a government shutdown, or it's like government shutdown. There's a collapse that's brewing up. This is ultimately to weaken the dollar. This is ultimately to bring in the new designed system that these Edomites have been planning on bringing. You know what I'm saying? It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So there's gonna be these government officials coming in, right? They're gonna tell not their national guards to try to keep things organized and prevent the chaos from getting worse and whatnot. That's what they're gonna try to do, but people ain't gonna care. People are not going to care, man. It's just gonna get that simple. I mean, that deep, that serious. And whoever the Lord's not dealing with, they gonna die. They gonna die the death of an unbeliever ultimately, because that's who Yahweh Shimon Shah is now fucking with. He ain't fucking with unbelievers, you know? But I'm gonna read a few more verses, probably end up going back. This is second Ezra 15 and verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, which is food, and for great tribulation. So this is something that we have to prepare our minds as the elect. You see, there's a great, great battle. There's a great tribulation that's coming to all of us, and we just got to stand firm in Yahweh Shema Shai. This is Sirach chapter 2 and verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Who did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering, very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saves in time of affliction. You see, so that's what it is for us that believe in the Lord. Hey, he's not going to forsake us, right? It says, who has called upon him and has been confounded? And the answer is nobody. So take that and use it as fuel to continually endure until the end be. So with that, giving praises to Yahweh Shem Shai, Shalom.